the mind of the religious. Knowledge and belief are concepts that can sometimes oppose. Before I go any further, let me first give you a definition for both. Knowledge, to be absolutely sure or certain about something. Belief, an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially one without proof. There is a fine line which can overlap at times between belief and ignorance, which means to ignore the facts that you have been shown. Let me give you a working example of the difference between knowledge and belief. So if I said, do you have 5 fingers on your hand? Would you answer me, I believe I have 5, or would you say, I know I have 5? Now, for example, your hand would be the proof, and all you would have to do is look down at your hand and check the proof to make sure you have 5. If I said to you, there is 500 milliliters of water in this glass, would you know I'm telling the truth, or would you believe that I am telling the truth? You see, once you have enough proof or facts of something, you can no longer claim to believe. Instead, you say you know, and when you don't know for sure, you have to say you believe. This is the fundamental difference between knowledge and belief. Through the passage of slavery, colonialism, neocolonialism, and integration, we have been trained to place belief on a higher mantle than knowledge. But when you are going to build a pyramid, farm land, predict seasons, or fight wars, you cannot rely on beliefs. If you do, then you will surely fail. Your foundation must be knowledge at all times. Imagine if you had a doctor and he told you he believed you needed surgery because he believes you are sick and he believes he knows what he's doing. It doesn't quite work. I don't know about you, but I'd much rather have a healer who knows what he or she is doing and gives treatment based on what they know. Now, let's take a look at what the Bible has to say about knowledge. Let's start with Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 15. To the heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. Proverbs chapter 24 verse 5. A wise man is strong, and yea, a man of knowledge increaseth strength. And finally, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Now, let's take a look at what it says about belief. Let's start with Romans chapter 10 verse 9. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God has raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. John chapter 3 verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but should have everlasting life. Mark chapter 16 verse 16. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be damned. And finally, Acts chapter 16 verse 30 to 31. And brought them out and said, Sirs, what must I do to be saved? And they said, Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved, and thy house. Now, after looking at the following verses, it is clear that the Bible places a higher value on believing in God rather than having knowledge. as with believing your soul will be saved for eternity. And knowledge is good, but to have it is said to increase sorrow.